Welcome back to our channel, and thank you guys for subscribing. I really appreciate all the new followers. And you know, let's just kind of jump in to this video, and it's gonna be hectic, it's gonna be crazy, and there's gonna be a lot going on. But thanks for coming back, and I will see you probably at the end of the week. Good morning, afternoon, depending on where you are. And today is the day I'm gonna try and tackle most of the electrical in my son's room. I need to get some of the insulation up. I need to start demoing our daughter's room. Right now we did a light demo, like a exploratory of like last time we did an exploratory. So now we know everything that's up there. I found some really cool stuff, and now I just have to get in there, start taking down the drop ceiling and all that other jazz. This is the drop ceiling. That's the original ceiling, obviously. I already started the other day. That's the original porch ceiling, so I have to demo that as well. Right here is the shared wall between the bedrooms, so I'm going to have to do electrical on both sides to get that done. I need to run electrical through this wall and down and around and over, and then this is where we're going to eventually tie it and go under, run it along the foundation over to where the panel is. Eventually that'll be a new panel, so that's no big deal. But I'll tell you, it's been a slow start. I had a lady message me this morning telling me that she had a bunch of old vintage hardware for me, so I went and picked up those, some drawer pulls and stuff, so I'm very excited. And then I had to do a bunch of laundry, we had to make breakfast, we had to do a bunch of stuff. It's noon now, and I've gotten about nothing done on the house, which is irritating, but a ton of other stuff happened. Right now you can see Tim, he's doing a bunch of laundry with me, and he's also taking stuff to the dump. Sorry, it's a transfer station, not a dump. And then I have to come in here, I have to mark out where this wall's going to come out for the fireplace, so I need to get the specs for that to do that and make sure the insert is actually going to fit. And then I'm hoping I can take it back to the stud here, maybe just leave ourselves a little extra room for working. Up here where this crack is, that's settling, and it's not good because we know that these joists, as they're running this way, they're not supported properly. So we have to come in here and I have to add a beam that's going up and supporting all the way up and down because the main support is not where it's supposed to be. So only goal for today is run electrical, start demo, mark out stuff, and then maybe I can get to taking things out to put in their fan and their light and possibly shoring up the ceiling so that we don't have issues. But a huge accomplishment for today is the fact that I got this bathroom really clean. Like clean enough that I feel like I could walk on the ground and not be grossed out. Which means when we shower, we're not going to feel disgusting. Well, I had to stop what I was doing and I had to glove up and mask up because I found some stuff that wasn't good. But let me show you what I was doing and why I was using a Sawzall real quick. So I could not find this stud with the stud finder. It's like it didn't exist because the walls are so wobbly that none of it was even attached. So it was just there for no reason, holding nothing. So that's why I had to scab out all the other walls, so you always hit a stud, so you always have something that your drywall is touching. Before that wasn't happening. So there's also a stud right there in between those two lines and here, which is nice because I wanted one here, but I have to reframe this entire one because it's actually not holding any of the support and it's just doing some wonky stuff and it just dead ends, which is a big problem for framing because all of a sudden you got nothing holding the load from up there. But what I stopped for was that. So we had a mouse problem, couldn't figure out where he was living because there was like 8 other mouse houses. I think I found one of the last ones, and I'll tell you what, this one's gonna be nasty to clean up. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, I guess. Wish me luck. Okay, so I got it all out. It looks pretty good now. There's a lot of stuff in there, I will say. Like, I don't know what was in there, but it was living its best life. There was like thousands of cigarettes, though. I don't know why. Just the butts were in there. It was trippy. I've never seen so many cigarette butts in my life. It was really gnarly. Now I just need to sweep and vacuum, but the rest of it's gonna come off really simply, and then there's our chimney, which is what I needed to see. Okay, so I got it cleaned up. I mopped everything. It's all clean, nice, and I can see what I'm kind of gonna do now, which is nice. So first steps first is I would have to put in a new stud going straight down there. And then I have to scab onto this one to make it flush with the rest of the walls, and then probably here as well. Take those out and do the same thing as I did on the opposite wall and put them at the top for my 8-foot drywall to come up here. And then I have to cut the wall back to here, leaving this section, which is nice. But this, now I found out, is where the insert is gonna go. So it's gonna be a lot smaller than I originally planned. So it's gonna leave quite a bit of room for my son that I had not originally expected, which is really, really nice. But I have to go take a break. I have to go pick up a couch and call a bunch of people and everything from the dock. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this day a 3 of productivity. But hey, got a lot of other stuff done. And I'll take you guys along with us when we get everything from the barge. So it's a new day and not a lot happened. Yesterday, after I helped him clean up a bunch of stuff out front from him taking off the old roof, I stepped on a nail, which was great because I was wearing my boots, like my work boots, so it only went through just a little bit of my work boot and into my foot, and it's irritating because after like 6 years of work, I've never stepped on a nail until now. So I'm going to take it a little easier today because I'll walk you through why Tim and I actually both agreed on to move this door. So it's really, really nice because it wasn't just me fighting for something. Tim's pretty good about just being like, I agree. But I'll talk you through it. So right here is my son's room. Right here is in between these two bays. That is where our fireplace insert is going to go. Across from the door is this beautiful window, which I want my couch centered under because that'll be our living room. And the only reason why we both agreed the door should move is because the old door is not even framed in right here. It's none of the load's being carried down where it's supposed to. And in all honesty, having it moved over to this is going to be so much nicer because then his room will feel bigger and we'll have this entire wall to that door and it'll just center the whole entire room. And that means I can move his closet somewhere else, which gives him so much more room. I think it'll help the functionality of the room. So let's get to it. Now, I'm not 100% positive you can see at this very moment, but in just a couple seconds, you'll see my soul leave my body as a giant amount of flies come pouring out of this. While I was getting swarmed by flies, Tim was over here trying to get this off there. Enjoy! So I was having such a hard time getting the electrical around the corner that I did this, and I wouldn't recommend, although it makes it a lot easier. So I stuck my drill through the hole, wrapped it around the electrical, turned it on, and then pulled it through. So basically by drilling through the ends of the electrical, I was able to pull it through the corner. Tim just came inside to help me finish up the framing, and that means at the moment I can no longer procrastinate, so here I go. So I don't know where I left off the other day, but things have been a little crazy. It's not taking longer to get this room done than I thought, like timeline-wise, like of actual work hours. It's the same, but it's taking more days than I expected just because we're kind of stopping and bouncing between projects that need to happen like right away. So Tim just took off the entire left side of the, depending on which way you're looking at, the entire left side of the house, which is wonderful, and the dormer came off really simply, which was cool. But we finally just got this framed, and this is going to be where our fireplace goes, and it's eventually going to tuck up into the chimney that's there. I drilled all my holes for my boxes all the way around. I went on the other side of the wall and I did that. That's like how it goes. The door's framed in. Everything's ready to go. I have the electrical boxes. That's electrical that's run for the outside of the wall. That's for my TV. That's for outside plugs in the living room. That one's going to be for here, but I can't do that until I finish building the box out for the fireplace. Now I'm just waiting for Tim so he can help me reframe this area and add the beam that goes across for structure. But right now, I have to stop procrastinating on doing the insulation, and I really genuinely don't want to do it. That's like on the highest end of things I really don't want to do. So as a way to continue to procrastinate, I think what I'm going to do is put in the ceiling fan mount for the new light in Bubba's room. So I have to poke holes through the rafters and through the joist bay because I'm not poking holes through any rafters. I'm just running the new electrical up and above me through one of those bays that you can kind of see above me. So in theory, once I insulate and once I do the electrical boxes here, I can hang like almost 90%-ish of the drywall. So I guess I just need to do it, and I genuinely have been putting it off. My foot feels a whole lot better after 3 days, so that's nice, so I can actually work properly again. So I guess I'll just do it. I wish that during this section here you could see Tim working on the left-hand side. He's actually putting in the beam to re-support this second story and using a jack to make everything level. I would like to point out that not all vapor barriers need to be on the inside. If you have a different climate than us, we are very cold. You might have to do it on the outside. In our house in California before, we had to do vapor barrier on the outside. Well, it's Labor Day, hopefully drywall day, fingers crossed. I got a lot of stuff done this morning, not on camera because it was such a bunch of little odd projects that it didn't feel right to try and capture a time lapse of it happening. It would have been like 1 second here, 1 second there because of how quickly I had to get it done. But let me just walk through what happened and what I did. So while I had insulated and put in the vapor barrier, Tim had put in the beam that's now going to hold the joists up on the second floor because everything was falling in. We got that done, so you can kind of see how big the crack got when he had forced everything up back into place. I ran the electrical down to the switch, up to the light mount, and then he finished building out the box for the fireplace, and I did the rest of the electrical really quickly. It was hard to sneak it through all the corners and nobody wanted to see me struggle, so it kind of just worked out so much better to do it that way. Next steps now are I'm going to mark out every single joist on the ceiling, make sure I know exactly where they're going, where it's going to hit on my drywall, so when I put my drywall up, I'll already have the marks and I can just screw right in. I don't have to pull a tape or anything. That way it just goes so much quicker. And then, I mean, you guys are hopefully going to watch and enjoy me struggle with the drywall because drywall's fun. And as I was watching this, I realized this was the only video I took of me drywalling because I forgot doing the rest of it. Tim and I did it really quickly, kind of banged it out. It was hard to get angles anyways, I guess. And there it is. Temporary setup for the kids. They're starting to bring their stuff in, which is nice. So after all that, now we're done and I'm going to move on to other projects and we'll just see where it takes us. See you in the next video.